Okay, now the first thing I've got to say is that I do have a tripod and I can't find it. So you're just going to have half a pot of flour in the on the right hand side of this video the whole damn time. Now, I think I mentioned that I was in Big Tesco today and I had a huge thing for crappy traditional biscuits, as we have discussed, so I figured I would buy this assortment, which is rather good. It is a huge, actually let me just lift this up and then you can have a good look. So we've got a nice assortment there. That's a pound assortment from Tesco. It has 4 very popular classic biscuits. You can't get a lot of them these days because people have no taste and are crap. So when I was a kid, I had a huge thing for the orange creams. As you see, we have 2 cream biscuits here with fondants in the middle. There used to be an orange one. It was fantastic. It was literally the best biscuits in the world. I ate many hundreds of them. And you just can't get them. I blame humanity for this. Also, there are some strawberries. Say hi. I've also got my box of Jaffa cakes, just for comparison. These have been sitting in the spare room, not being eaten. Be very impressed with me. There we go. Is that okay? Yes, that's safe. So, we need a plate. This is the plate I got to go off to university with when I was, oh God, in 1995. And I still have it. I think it's the only survivor. No, it's not. There's actually a bowl somewhere that's got embroidery in. It's one of 2 survivors of that set of things. So, there we go. Haha. So, let's do this. Let's unbox. So, we're going to do the Jaffa cakes first. Ha. So, they come in packs of 10 now because of the financial crisis. They used to come in packs of 12, and it was a better world. Let's just open this up. Here's our Jaffa cake. So there we go. It looks like it's a goddamn biscuit. I don't care what people say. As you can see, it's half sponge. It's got a spongy underneath, like a cake, and it's got a chocolatey top, but it's got a 3-dimensional chocolatey top. And the reason for this, just open my cutlery drawer there. The reason for this, as you will see, is, this is a travesty, by the way. Sam would be very unhappy with me. The reason for this is that you can see that there is a layer of, actually it's not orange, it's apricots. They lie to you and tell you that it's orange, but it's actually apricots, because when you put them into a jam, they taste identical. And the reason I know this is because I used to buy apricot jam to put in croissants, as God intended, and obviously apricot jam looks exactly the same as marmalade, and the jars look exactly the same, and I had run out of one of them and forgot that I had, in fact, run out of the apricot jam, thought that the jar I had was still apricot, and it was actually marmalade, and I had no idea. So that's a layer of apricot jam with plain chocolate over the top and a cakey bottomly bit, and they're very, very nice. They are actually fabulous. You know, wars have been won and lost based on these biscuits. That's probably not true, but then, hey, I don't know what they got up to in Iraq and Afghanistan for all I know. We conquered Middle Eastern nations for oil entirely based on Jaffa cakes. Who knows? Okay, so now we've got this gigantic box of thing. It's actually not a box, it's a bag. They did have tins, but the tins were £3 and were indeterminate assortments, whereas this tells you exactly what you get on the cover. So we're going to open this up. Oh, fancy. Good heavens. Okay, we open it up and the outer wrapper is a lie and biscuits are all in individual bags. Ha! Excellent. I was sort of wondering how this bag would work. Now we know. So those are actually the malted milks on the wrong side of the packet. These are the bourbons, you can tell because they're brown. These are the custard creams, because they're creamy and yellow. And down here in the bottom of the bag, we've got nice biscuits. Be gone, small bag. Okay, so let's open up this one. That one's cracked on the top. Did I do that? I don't think I did that. Okay, so let's move the Jaffa Cake out of the way. Now this is a nice biscuit. The Biscuit review, there we go, let's put those away. The Biscuit review website I showed you, nice cup of tea and a sit down, I think coined the meme that nice biscuits, despite saying nice on the top, you see that, they're right there. Despite saying nice on the top, are not actually nice. I think this is a lie and a travesty. You can see, they smell lovely. They smell all lovely and coconutty. You can see that they've got sugar sprinkled on the top, and they say nice on them, and the biscuits would not lie. These are pretty plain biscuits. They've got a lovely coconutty taste, lovely coconutty smell. They don't snap very well. I think it was already broken. Let's try again. Ah, that's much more cracky. There we go. And they just break down the middle, and I think they are a sadly underrated biscuit. So let's try our second plain biscuit. Now, we never bought these when I was a kid. This is the malted milk. I have occasionally encountered them in the wild. The Virgin Lounge has them, but I have not personally bought them before. And as you can see, this one says malted milk on it, so you know what it is, and it has a convenient picture of a cow for milk and some grass, and that's actually, I think, a calf, not a crow as I originally thought it was. It's a calf. I did think, is malt represented by crows in some way of which I was not aware? So this is another plain biscuit all the way through, and we give it a snap, and it kind of breaks down the middle in a, you dragged us home from big Tesco across 2 towns in your wheelie cart way. Let's try again. There we go. Let's give this one a taste, because they're a bit of an unknown quantity for me. Tastes like a biscuit. I'm not detecting much malt in there. Honestly, that's pretty crap. Would not buy again. Would not recommend. So let's go on to the real biscuits. The ones with a layer of fondant in the middle. Now these are the ones that you will look at and you will say, these are just shit Oreos, aren't they, Vashti? And I will say to you, excuse you, that's pretty good. I will say, excuse you, Oreos are what you have because you weren't lucky enough to have custard creams. Oreos are actually disgusting, and I will not admit that they exist. Now, this is a custard cream. It says on the top that it's a custard cream, and it's got a lovely whirly... What is that? It's a lovely whirly design of some leaves, isn't it? Because I've always looked at that whirly design and been like, yeah, it's a whirly design, but it's actually some leaves. And a diamond and the words custard cream. And it's, as you can see, it's also quite broken. This is why you buy the cheap biscuits, because then when they get smashed to bits, you aren't heartbroken. So this one's got its layer of vanilla custardy stuff in the middle. It's not actually custard, or small me would never have had anything to do with it. It's a sort of vanilla fondanty thing in the middle, and it is creamy and delicious, and you want 10. You can do all the things with this that I believe you do with Oreos. You can twist them. See, you can twist them and they come apart, and then you've got a fondanty layer that you can lick off, and I did much licking of cream fillings, trust me, when I was smaller, but these days I am big and fastidious, and I have no time for licking fillings, so I just eat them whole, and they are very lovely. They're really good. Custard cream, sadly underrated biscuit. Wow, this video is 10 minutes long. Who knew I had so much to say about biscuits, eh? Now this is an embarrassment. This is this claims to be a bourbon cream. It is not the right shape. Bourbons are usually long and thin. They're usually more like that, and they're about three quarters the width of this across, and they're longer. And this is sort of a squished bourbon, which makes it not worthy of the name. And as you might be noticing a pattern. It says bourbon on the top. They have nothing to do, by the way, with whiskey. Bourbon to mean whiskey is a American thing that we do not wot of here. People will just think you mean the biscuits. So this is a chocolate biscuit. It is not a whiskey biscuit. As you can see, it's again a cream biscuit with its layer of fondant. That's a chocolate fondant, not the sort that's all gooey in the middle that they speak of in Terrified Whispers on MasterChef. It is a chocolate creamy biscuit, creamy centre. And you can twist it, it comes apart. There's your creamy biscuit noms. For great biscuit justice, these are really good. And they've got a lovely chocolatey taste, like the custard cream has a lovely vanilla taste. And all in all, this was a pretty good biscuit assortment. Except for those malted milks, totally disappointing. Bad deal. Mum clearly had the right idea, never buying them ever. Good for you, Mum. A nation remembers. Okay, so that's my biscuits. I could go and get the rice crackers and things and show them off, but they don't really fit into the category, so I'm not going to. Next time, rich teas and digestives. Bye!